Like, I'm giving everything I've got. Like, I'm not thinking about, I don't even know what my next meeting is. There's a million fires I have going on. I don't give a fuck. I need to deliver to this. And I think that's what I do well for any audience, whether it's celebrity, the masses, client. Like, I'm obsessed with over-delivering.
All right. So listen, I got 20 minutes. I'm not gonna start with the big long introduction. That would take 20 minutes. New York Times best-selling book. If you listen to this, you don't know who GaryVee is, stop this shit right now. GTS, Google that shit, and then come back to the podcast in a minute. So let's get into this shit.
Let's get into it.
So Gary, listen.
Yes.
Having absorbed your content, watched you, I consider you the modern day Robin Hood.
Okay.
And before I explain what that means, like, tell me your initial thoughts on this.
You're smarter than you look. Honestly, I'm trying to think right now because I don't want to bullshit.
Yeah.
I think you might be the first person to say that ever, maybe even. Yeah. And I think it's very interesting because it's crossed my mind multiple times.
Yeah. Here's what I'm getting. You know, a long time ago, there were these ideas and these thoughts and these collaborations were for the super successful, super rich, the Rockefellers, all these people. And what you've done is you've said, all right, no more. You can look at your Sasha that you just started. You can look at the way you do things, and you're making it available to everybody. And if that's not Robin Hood, I don't know what is.
And to your point, Sasha is a company I'm building, but like my great legacy in my aspiration to be someone that gets written about like Robin Hood is giving it for free.
Yeah, that's
like the thing that if somebody asks me, what are you most proud of? I'm literally giving away all my best shit for free. Right. I don't know what else to say. And to your point, you're right. I go into the clouds with all these interesting places and people and things, and I come back every day and I produce content for the masses for free.
Correct. What's amazing about that is you've built a business you've built a profitable company, a business on it, but you're rising up the people who believe they never had a chance.
Well, think about people that kind of look like me. If you do know who I am, a lot of people that kind of look like me build audience to the masses, but then try to sell to that audience.
Correct.
Right? Here's the $4,000 ebook. Correct. Here's the come to my mastermind. Yeah. What I do is, back to your analogy, this is why I thought of it too, I do business with Chase and Budweiser and AAA list celebrities, but for the masses, it's free.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the masses and the celebrities, they sign up for that shit. They sign up. They're on board because that's your brand. They understand that.
They also understand, and word of mouth is reputation matters. Yeah. Like, I really know what I'm talking about. And when I meet anybody, by the way, this, right? We've had to move this podcast a couple times. I've got this weird day. Now I come and sit down and say, hey, I got 20 minutes, not 30, right? Yep. But like for these next 18 minutes, like I'm giving everything I've got. Yeah. Like I'm not thinking about, I don't even know what my next meeting is. There's a million fires I have going on. I don't give a fuck. I need to deliver to this. Yeah. And I think that's what I do well for any audience, whether it's celebrity, the masses, client. Like I'm obsessed with over delivering. It's why I say yes to shit like this in the first place. Yeah. The fact that you're going to be able to build a bigger podcast by leveraging the fact that I was a guest is the single reason I'm doing this interview.
That's exactly
the singular reason I'm doing this is I know where I sit and what it will mean for you by leveraging me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's meta as fuck.
100%. And that's Robin Hood shit.
That's agree
Robin Hood shit.
Listen, that was my reaction. You're smarter than you look. It's a very, very smart observation. Awesome. And I'll tell you this, it's really funny. I judge people on how they figure me out. It's funny where my brain went when you said it. A, interesting. Yeah. I'm pumped that you figured it out. B, oh shit, he figures shit out that isn't obvious.
Great. Listen, I super appreciate that. I'm going to roll, keep going.
Go.
So you don't want compliments
the whole time?
No. Thanks. I'll take that shit later. Listen, so 2009, you were asked a question: Where in New York do you love going when you're in town? And you said, I love going to my barber's. I love getting my hair cut. Me and my barber have great conversations. what was the last great conversation you had? And I'm not talking about the conversation in front of the camera. I'm talking about the last conversation you
I
left.
cannot believe this is the question. Had you asked me this 48 hours ago, I wouldn't have known the answer. I would have thought really fast. Yeah. Yesterday, Travis Kalanick, the founder of Uber and former CEO, who's been out there, stopped by. We're longtime friends. I often talk about passing on Uber and losing out on all those dollars. Mm-hmm. We had a great conversation. Yeah. Thoughtful as fuck.
No cameras, just you and him, or cameras?
No cameras.
And so in that moment, right? I don't need to know what the conversation was.
I'll tell you right now. Yeah. In that moment, I was reminded why he was able to build one of the fastest growing businesses of all time. And it wasn't a business conversation. Yeah. He's just thoughtful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Listen, I'm going to pass you another compliment. I like when people see shit that other people don't. Yeah. It's actually how life works. Let me give you something I'm hot on right now. I do not think the American dream should be buying a home anymore. I think it's full of shit.
Tell me more of that shit.
It's fucking bullshit. Yeah. It's a bad use of upfront capital, and it ties you up. Correct. And it's just not smart.
It's not going to appreciate.
And what is it for? I'm pissed that I own a home. Yeah. I would literally rent in perpetuity now, and I will. I've decided. I will never buy another new home.
Is it because
college? Parents are tricked, forcing kids to go to college when 93% of kids should not go to college. I love when shit is accepted, but it's now broken because college and buying a home might have really been awesome. And I actually believe this in 1954 and 1973. The problem is it's 2019. So I'm hot on seeing things that are obvious to me on what's going to happen next. Here's what we do very interesting as a society. We shit on the new and we put the past on a pedestal.
No question. People buy homes. People buy fancy cars. They buy it and they go to college for one reason: for significance.
100%.
They wrap that shit up.
Acceptance.
Right.
Acceptance.
I want to show.
But here's the thing, real quick. Let me tell you the difference between a Lambo and owning your own home. I'm looking at some people here. We're all looking at each other, right? You just don't know if you own the home or not. You don't have to know. Yeah. I know you're driving a fucking Lambo. I see it. But you live in a home. I actually have no fucking clue how much mortgage you have on that home. Do you rent it? Right? I'm telling you this thing. And by the way, this is my thesis to why it will fall. I'm not saying fashion will fall. Fashion will never fall. I got to show you that I'm wearing fly fucking clouds and dirt or a Gucci bag or shit or an Under Armour. That's how we express. But on a home, I actually don't know if you own it or you rent it. And that's why it's vulnerable. Because it actually doesn't matter to the outside person. It's not important. It matters that you're in that home. And if you actually play it out, it means people are going to live in much better homes. Because if you're not using all that upfront cash and you're just renting, you can go higher up. You're going to be in a fancier place. Why do you need to own a home?
You don't.
To leave it to your kids? They can rent too. Yeah. Oh, this is some fucked up amazing shit for me. Yeah. I think the whole thing is going to go. In the next 50 years. Yeah. It takes time to rebrand.
In a while.
Yeah,
so,
go.
All right, next question. So I know you have this.
By the way, everybody's listening. That is how you go from what was the last meaningful conversation you have into ranting about the current state of home ownership in America.
Good transition.
If you were just curious, go ahead.
There. They were speed rounding here. So I know that you and from what I've heard and what I've read, you and your wife have an agreement that you kind of don't talk about family. You've set some boundaries.
In my content, yes.
In your content.
Correct.
Question though.
Yes.
What principles did your mom teach you? I know she taught you how to be confident.
Tons. Go.
That if you had to come up with the 3 principles that you're going to pass on to your kids that your parents taught you, what are those 3 principles?
Beautiful. So I would say, hot take, it's less about principles. Rule number one, disproportionately overlove your child. In parallel to you building up that self-esteem, you eliminate all delusion. What my mom did that I don't see most people do is she wildly made me think I was the best, but anytime it was proven that I wasn't, she acknowledged that I wasn't. Confidence, not at the expense of reality. So you have 2 groups of parents, the masses. One, insecure parents who pass their insecurity onto their kids. and they shit on their kids, thus making kids think they suck. Or parents that over coddle and bullshit their kids and give them 8th place trophies and make them think like my son yesterday said he's gonna dunk. And I said, you are never gonna dunk. Right to his fucking 6-year-old face. I'm like, dude, you will never dunk. He said, why? I said, DNA. He's like, what's DNA? I'm like, ask Alexa, right? So
that shit.
It was important for me to not be like, yo, you're gonna dunk. Yeah. He's not gonna dunk. And as soon as he understands that, the better. That's not what most parents do. So my mom overloved me and gave me unbelievable self-esteem, but she taught me accountability and eliminated entitlement. Yeah. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, everything else she did doesn't mean shit. It's tier 7 importance. Be kind, love it, all the amazing stuff, hard work, cool. I promise you, it's 2 things. Build self-esteem. Make your kids think that they could do anything until they prove they can't, and then acknowledge they cannot. I'm big on this.
I love that.
And that's what I do with my employees. Like, go, and then you can't. I'm like, you're off. You're no longer on the video team, or you can't write anymore. Like, and that's the way it should. I love that.
What does that do for them in the long?
In the long term,
cause and effect
I will.
Of that shit.
The effect is you try shit and you don't fear failure.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. So,
do you understand what happens when you stop worrying about other people's opinions and failure? Like, everything opens up. And when you take on full responsibility, see, optimism and confidence at the balance of like reality versus delusion makes you fear failure, not value other people's opinions, and have complete and utter accountability. Yeah. That shit gets real good. Oh. Like when this is why I push, like, it's your fault. I genuinely think everything in my life is my fault.
And that's liberating as hell. like
you know how fun it is to know that nobody has control?
Yeah, nobody controls.
When you say it's Rick's fault, Rick has control.
Yeah, I love that. One of the questions I ask my kids every day, tell me how you failed today. And the first time I ask them, defensive. Like, what are you talking about? I haven't failed.
Nothing. Fuck you, Dad.
Right.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, I tried this and it didn't work out. And they now, like, that's their badge of honor.
And look, I'm pissed when I fail. It's like, you don't want to raise people that like I lose at everything. Like, there's accountability / you know what my mom taught me? Ramifications. I'll give you a good one. My mom knew I was going to be a fucking winner. Let's just call it what it is. But she punished me on the clock 4 times a year. Every fucking report card, I would go down. No TV, no friends, no Nintendo. It was the worst. It was fucking clockwork for a decade. She did it. Because even though she knew it wasn't going to matter in the macro, in the micro, it's what I was doing. And if you fail, you have accountability.
I graduated with a 2.0 grade point average, never went to college, and I'm coaching CEOs of billion-dollar companies right now.
I mean, I don't know. You've done your homework. You have context. Like, I love sharing my report card.
Let me ask you a question to that point. There was a time when that was my greatest weakness. I hid that shit.
Yeah, me too.
And like, wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
I sugarcoat it.
Uh-huh.
But now what I've learned is I flip that shit, and
8 Mile.
I open up with
8
that
Mile.
shit, right? Yeah. Once
8 Mile.
Once D-Rock, once Papa Doc knows all. What are you gonna say about me?
What are you gonna say?
What are you gonna say about me?
Naked. If this can all play out that we just all roll naked, like it's, and when I say naked, maybe we do all physically roll naked, but like, let me promise you something. Hypocrisy smells. Yeah. Whenever somebody judges somebody else, I always laugh because I know that they have something they suck at too, or they're hiding too.
Yeah, I love that. Best book, one of the best books I've ever read. Mistakes were made, but not by me. And it's all about hypocrisy and the judgments you. Oh,
I hate that shit.
I'm saying and that's what we live in. We're living in this world now.
Every day I wake up, at some level, subconsciously or consciously, I always say, "Who the fuck am I?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
With all the good shit, I think I'm dirt. I mean it. Nobody's gonna give a fuck a year after I die, except for like 11 people. Like, it's the truth.
The 11 people that are in that room. So
nobody's gonna give a fuck for all the things, like all the people that like don't know what to do when they see me at the airport and take a selfie, right? Yeah. Like what? But the Macho Man Randy Savage, I'm looking at this fucking, like, I love him so much. What happened? He died. I was fucked up for like 4 hours, and then the next day happened.
And then you went on today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the second
But you know who says that shit?
Who?
You know who says that shit?
Who?
Robin Hood says that shit.
No.
Robin Hood says that shit.
Is this true?
Robin Hood says the
I
shit.
never read Robin Hood.
Robin Hood says that, no, Robin Hood says the shit that I'm just doing what I do, and you know what? I'm not doing it for any other reason, but it's the right thing to do.
How does Robin Hood end?
What are you talking about?
I'm being dead serious. I don't know what the fuck, how. Robin Hood's a book, right?
Yeah, Robin Hood's a book, and then
How
a
the
movie.
fuck
Kevin
is-
Costner. Like Kevin.
I didn't watch that shit. What happens in the end of Robin Hood? How does it actually end? I'm being dead serious.
yeah,
I know.
so-
do you know? You're laughing.
Yeah.
You don't know, right?
No.
Do you, hold on, real quick. Do you know?
I've seen it.
Do you know? Look,
Come on, he gets.
there's
he-
there's 5 people in here.
One
One's
knows.
like, one of you is like, you don't know? News alert, the 4 of us have, open the door real quick. Yo.
Caleb,
do you know?
Caleb knows that
Caleb,
shit. I guarantee
do you know how
Caleb knows.
Robin Hood ends? The book, the movie. Like, do you know how Robin Hood ends?
No.
Of course
Mother-
not.
son of-
Seth, do you
This
know
is-
how Robin Hood ends? Like the
bullshit.
book, Robin. No idea.
This is.
Zach, get over here. Come and tell me. We found somebody.
Every person.
Justin,
somebody
Justin, do you know how
somebody in your
Robin Hood
office
ends?
knows that shit.
Which Robin Hood?
The fucking
The
book.
book
I
or
don't
the
know.
movie, pick one.
How Robin Hood ends?
Yeah. How does Robin Hood end? The story of Robin Hood.
He kills the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he gives the money
Just
back to
before
all the
she gets
people.
married.
He gives the money back to all the people.
Who the fuck is the sheriff of Nottingham?
He's the
And
tyrant.
they just released another Robin Hood.
Come on.
He watched after.
I gotta go soon. All right, let me get one speed round. 2 questions and I'm out.
Two more.
All right,
two
good.
more
Thank you for
questions.
knowing
All right,
Robin
yeah.
Hood. See you, Zach,
You
Justin.
just took 30 seconds trying to
Go
figure
ahead.
out who the fuck Robin Hood was, right? So
This is the best podcast of all time, by the way.
So listen. So now we went from family. So let me ask you a question.
Please.
So now that you have this you come to Russia. I'm going to go all the way back. You
Yeah.
come home from Russia.
Belarus,
Right, you
for
come-
everyone scoring at home. I come from Belarus.
You go outside to play football.
Oh, right. I go from, for everybody home, Belarus to Queens, Queens to Dover, Dover to Edison, New Jersey. I'm 5. I go outside in August 1982,
And Eric says
Eric Godfrey,
you are a
Jets fan. They're throwing a Nerf football around. I'm just getting acclimated to America, right? Because I'm an immigrant. This football thing seems fun. We're throwing around remember the old Nerf?
Oh, yep.
And they're like, who do you like? I'm like, I have no idea. And Eric Godfrey goes, you're a Jets fan. And that is how I became a Jets fan.
So let me ask you a question.
Please.
40 years later.
Yes.
40 years later, almost to the day, your entire empire, your entire life has been predicated on this one statement, right? This I set the goal,
Yes.
and the bell goes off, and I start fucking running.
That's right. I'm going to buy the
I'm
Jets.
going to buy the Jets. What happens when you buy the Jets?
2 very opposite reactions. 1, I don't give a shit if I buy the Jets. I just want to try to buy the Jets. It's a very big thing.
Yeah.
This process, this chase, the thrill of the hunt is everything to me.
Yeah.
My intuition is one of 2 things happens. There is some weird, awkward lull of like a micro moment of depression of like, okay, I did it, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be crazy because I'm a marathon runner, so it's not happening for 20 years. And so like over the next 20 years, think about how many people in America are going to know about this goal. Almost everybody, right?
5 million know about it now.
That's
minimum.
right. I mean, and so a lot of people are going to know. And then I hope it quickly goes into, and now I have to fucking win a Super Bowl. So my hope, and this is my intuition, is it will quickly transform into the task at hand.
So how many stadiums, how many Jet stadiums do you think you fill with the people's lives that you've changed in your quest to buy the stadium?
70,000 is a stadium. I would say by the time it happens or today.
People's lives that you've changed just because of your quest. All this shit doesn't happen if it's not for the quest. And so how many lives do you think you changed by the time you reach it?
Let me say something I want everybody to know, and I'll put it on wax, as they say right now. The fact that I get 1 of the emails I get a day, and I get a lot of them, that says I was suicidal, like real shit that's heavy.
Yeah.
That trumps anything I will ever do professionally. One person telling you that they were going to take their life and that your fucking videos and podcasts made them not is disproportionately greater than if I bought all 32 NFL teams. And I mean that. So you can imagine why I'm such a happy kid.
Yeah.
That being said, man, a lot, man. Like, look, I'll be very honest with you. A lot of people, I'll put it again on wax. People come up to me all the time and go, Gary, you have no idea how many people's lives you're impacting. And I always hate that Because in my mind, I'm like, you have no idea how many people's lives I'm impacting that I realize I'm impacting, and more importantly, how many I'm going to impact. And by the way, this is what makes me so happy about the way I was parented. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with the circumstances of America, when I was born, and most importantly, my two parents' DNA and what they did with the clay that I was. So when I say that I genuinely think that I can be a generational person, and that's what I think. I'm gonna be very weird right now. I think I can be a generational person, that all four of you will talk in 45 years that you spent time with me, because I'll be such I actually believe that. I believe it. I think it's going to be many football. I plan on genuinely impacting millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, if not hundreds of millions of people, because I know what my intent. Really, my only vulnerability is my health. I know what my intent is only to have a statue. Quote unquote, right? I want to be admired. I told my sister got emotional the other day. She's just seeing how many people I'm impacting. And I said, sis, November 14th is going to be a national holiday. You know, obviously it was Martin Luther King Day, so it was on my mind. I was like, fuck it. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong? Like, I understand the words coming out of my mouth, and I understand.
If more people felt that way, I'm saying shit.
By the way, you don't get national holidays for buying the jets.
No.
You get national holidays for moving the culture. Yeah. And when I say the culture, I'm talking humans. Yeah. And so I'm very excited about my ambitions, and I understand they're audacious, and I understand why some people listening are like, oh, this guy. I understand how it can sound like big head. Yeah. I promise you, if you peel away the onion, I wish more people were doing it.
I'm with you. Last question, because I know you got to go. Last question. So 50 years from now,
yes,
60, 70 years from now, you're gone. You've left this earth.
70.
Yeah, 70.
Would be better.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
70, 115.
Yeah.
What's the contribution you have left?
He gave way more than he took.
And that's that. And that's why he's GaryVee. Man, thanks. I appreciate it.